You're looking at a 19-inch custom Lorinser wheel that's mounted on a Mercedes-Benz. I'm getting ready to remove this wheel to check the brake pads. And I just got thinking, can you imagine if you were some thief or even a tire shop that was unaware of how this wheel is secured to the hub, how frustrating it would be to figure out how to get the wheel off in the first place. I know from reading some forum posts that sometimes owners don't even know. They've acquired a car and they're not really familiar with these Lorinser center caps, and they'll take it into some tire shop and the tire shop says, I don't know how to get that off. This is usually the scenario, okay? Notice here we have a bunch of hex bolts around this center cap. So the first thing is you're going to think, well, I'm just going to get a hex wrench and remove those bolts and I should be able to get the cap off, right? Well, let's take a look here and see how this works. Okay, I'm just going to sit here and turn and turn. And after a while, you're going to go, what? Is that one stripped? Let's try another one. And then by the third or fourth one, the person would be thinking, hey, there's something wrong here. That's not the way that center cap comes off. So you start looking and you look down inside here and you see a little hole inside that hex bolt's head and you think, oh, maybe there's a special tool that gets down in there. There are some caps that you get a pry tool, like on other European cars, you get a little pry tool in there and get a hold of that, you pop it off. So this just, you know, snaps off. So you can imagine the next step would be to somebody to try to get a tool in here and try to pry this off. Well, you can imagine what would happen to the chrome around that edge there. It just demolish it. So, you know, you're going to have to figure this out one way or another, and the best way to figure it out is to find out how Lorinser intended to have these center caps removed. And yes, they have a very special tool. And you're going to see this tool and you're going to say, what? What's going on with this tool? Well, you see, this tool is a wrench with all these little points in it to go in the heads of these hex bolts. Now, someone on this tool has probably not held it tight enough up against that center cap, and you can see these are almost broken off. So I have to be real careful. I have to set this in place. Look at how this sits on here. You can imagine these people at Lorinser sitting up late at night figuring, how are we going to keep these wheels from getting stolen? So once this is on there tight, then you turn this, and the center cap is actually screwed onto the center hub of the wheel. I know some of you are laughing, thinking, man, that's extreme. But if you knew how much these wheels cost, you would understand the owner is very happy to have some sort of security device like this. And imagine if you're a thief thinking, well, gee, I'll go online and get one of these special Lorinser tools, and he comes out and he pulls this off, and the next thing he's going to see is, uh-oh, it has one of these security lug bolts. Without the security lug bolt wrench, which looks like this, remember, these are keyed differently. Not all of these are the same. So he would have to figure out which one this car had before he went and got the center cap off. Well, that's probably not going to happen. So in the end, he'd probably just steal the car. But see, this fits on over that special bolt. You got to kind of get it around here and get it lined up. There we go. And that gets in place like that. And then you can go ahead, and I recommend you not use an impact wrench on these special locking wheel bolts like this. Okay, now once I get that lug bolt out, then the rest of the lug bolts can be removed as normal. So here you can see that all those hex bolts are fake. They're secured with nuts with Loctite, so they just spin. And then, of course, here you can see the threads on this part of the cap that screw right into the hub right here. So that's the procedure you have to use with these Lorinser wheels with these type of center caps.